అది సర్వీస్ జెంకిన్స్ సర్వీస్ కూడా అది రన్నింగ్ ఇప్పుడు ఒక్కోసారి మెషిన్ రీస్టార్ట్ అయినప్పుడు అన్ని ఆటోమేటిక్గా సర్వీసెస్ రీస్టార్ట్ అవుతాయి. ఒక్కోసారి వితౌట్ ఎనీ స్పెసిఫికల్ ఇష్యూ సర్వీస్ విల్ నాట్ స్టార్ట్ బై డిఫాల్ట్.
అందుకే యాక్చువల్లీ సర్వీస్ రన్ లో ఆప్షన్స్ ఉంటాయి, 3 ఆప్షన్లు. ఆటోమేటిక్, మాన్యువల్ ఇంకోటి ఏదో ఉంటుంది, సంథింగ్ ఆటోమేటిక్ డిఫాల్ట్ సంథింగ్ ఏదో అని. సో అట్లా ఇట్స్ నాట్ ఓన్లీ అబౌట్ ద సర్వర్. వెన్ యూ డిసైడెడ్ టు యూజ్ జెంకిన్స్, it obviously a lot of pressure to the engineers, IT engineers, yes, who maintains the servers.
Of course.
If Jenkins is not able to accessible and people are not able to access the specific URL or specific IP address, then it's not about only the one person, it's about the entire organization.
Yes.
And frankly telling, it's not only about the organization in one location, it's across the globe.
Actually, I got the doubt yesterday, thought of asking, but we went into some other discussions. So let's say I have a server in this local Hyderabad and it got installed in there. Okay. How from other cities can those people access this thing?
See, one thing you need to make sure, if the people are in same your network, then obviously they will be able to access. For suppose if you see Mindtree, let's consider Mindtree, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Pune, all are in same network, man.
Mindtree domain.
Yeah, Mindtree domain.
Okay.
Are you understanding? You can share a file with the person in Mindtree who is in US.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, that is all because of you all are in one network. When it is global, then it is called WAN, wide area network.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah, when it is local, then it is called LAN.
Network. Yes. Local area network, wide area network, private network. Yeah.
So coming to organizations, your office may be anywhere in the world, but your office, all computers will be in one network.
Yeah.
So when you install Jenkins in Hyderabad Mindtree office, obviously a person from US Mindtree office can access the Jenkins server. Yes. When you are not part of an organization, you want to maintain a Jenkins server in outside any data center outside world, then you need to make sure that the server has a public IP address.
Yeah.
What is difference between public IP and private IP?
Public IP can be accessed from anywhere using internet.
Right.
Yeah. Private network is like a internal, like we said recently now domain.
Right.
Internal thing, specifically to the only company customers,
right,
company employees.
Yes. When you say private network, when the Jenkins is installed on private network, that means the user should be in Mindtree domain.
Yes.
If it is in public IP, the user can log in with any account, Gmail, Outlook, Facebook, anything.
Yeah. You just need internet and credentials,
right,
to log in. So
that is different. So when your organization decided to go for Jenkins, obviously they will be prepared for all this.
Yeah.
I need to maintain a server, I need to have a separate engineer for that, and everything should happen 24/7 up and running. The service, the server, everything.
Yes.
Even when you want to patch the server or when you want to restart the server, it should be like a maintenance window.
Yeah, we have to give maintenance window to the end users.
Right. So tomorrow, maybe a Sunday morning, 10 p.m. to 12 p.m. 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. we are running a maintenance window on the server where Jenkins is installed. So as part of this maintenance activity, we may get multiple restarts. So during the restart, you will not be able to access.
Yes.
If the people are working between 10 to 12, they are not allowed to raise a ticket if they are not able to access. That's the called maintenance window.
Yeah.
If you face any issues during maintenance window, you are not allowed to raise a ticket. Even though you are facing a critical issue, but you are not allowed. Why? Because we already informed about the maintenance window 7 days before. But the maintenance window will be implemented by minimum 7 days before. In some organizations, they will update 1 month before also.
Yeah. They'll give schedule.
Right.
Completely. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. The schedule will be intimated to the entire organization at least 1 week before, not 1 day or 2 days before. Again, it's purely based on the criticality of the server. If it is a production server, obviously they will send reminder mails for every 1 week.
Yes.
Next Sunday we are going to maintain. Next Sunday we are maybe from when it is happening next Sunday, from Monday also they will send daily. 5 days to go, 6 days to go. If you have any work, please complete. Have everything saved on your system. We are going to restart. So they will send reminder mails as well. Yeah. Coming to other people, Srikanth, Pawan.
And one more question, Rajesh.
Yes, Srikanth.
So as we by default, as we have local host as a URL for us, right?
Right.
We can change it to using IP address or any name.
Yes.
Let's say I have changed it to IP address, but when I try to log into using IP address in the same machine, it is not taking. When I say local host only, it is taking.
Oh, it will take. Yesterday only I shown you, Srikanth. You need to give the port number as well, right?
Yeah, port along with port number 8080.
Then you might have given different IP address. When you go for IP config, we will get multiple IP address. So which IP address you took?
But that is accessible yesterday.
Let me show you. You see my screen?
It's loading. Yeah, I can see it now.
So now, to know your IP address, the IP config is a command.
Yeah.
We got many. Okay.
Yeah, I have taken IPv4 address.
First one.
Yeah.
It won't work.
Not six, not two. Give me a second.
When you take first one, it won't work.
Okay. But it worked yesterday, no? When I connected using different machine.
That's what. This is Ethernet IP address, not local IP address. This is local IP address.
Okay.
Let me show you.
Yeah, actually.
Let me show you. I am taking this IP address and I am opening here. Default, I am not giving any port. So when you don't give any port, by default it will go for 80 only. 80 means whatever website you installed in IIS.
Yes.
If you remember, in our IIS we have a sample.net website.
Yes.
Why? Because as part of deployment, we deployed local website to our local PC only. Let it open. It's not open. Yeah, now it's opening. See, this is my local website. Now if I take this URL, this is also routing code. I think I enabled IAS, right? That's the reason it is taking the IP address. Have you enabled IAS, Srikanth?
No, I didn't.
That's the problem maybe. We may need to enable IAS. See, all my URLs are directing to my default port only. This is IP4, this is IP4, and this is also IP4. All my IP4 address are redirecting to my default address only. Just give me a minute, I'm getting a call.
Okay.
Maybe this is because of IAS. So
Rajesh, I got it actually.
Yeah,
I found something new. See, yesterday when I was created this IP address and all, I connected to Wi-Fi. Okay. Now I connected to mobile network as I don't have power.
Okay.
So the IP that I use, it is not showing in my command prompt when I use
Yeah,
it.
maybe. See here something. Yeah, this is Wi-Fi, I think.
Yeah. So now I actually switched back to Wi-Fi, and now that is working.
Okay.
Yeah.
It happens, man. I'm not that much strong in networking, but you should get the answer for that.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is how we maintain. Now I am going to open our Jenkins.
Yeah, because why it wasn't, I mean, not working is both are in not the same network, right? Wi-Fi network is different and mobile data network is different.
Right.
IPs will completely change.
Correct.
I got it now. Yeah. Carry on.
So generally what happens is when people say you to open Jenkins, maybe in organizations or in any interviews, don't tell them that the default website for Jenkins is jenkins.io. It's not jenkins.io. When they say you what is the default website for jenkins.io, that will be your local IP address and the port number. Even don't say that localhost 8080 also.
Okay.
You should say your local IP address, then the port number 8080.
Local IP address, yeah.
So now I logged in.
Default will be 8080. You can change that to anything you require.
Yes, but default is 8080. While installation, you might have seen that.
Yes, yes. It given me option to change it also.
Correct. So while what happened is, can anybody know what are all the maximum number of IP addresses you can assign?
No.
What are anybody? Yeah, and can anybody tell me what is a bit? People will say some bit. Even SHA hash codes are something they are called 256 bit value. So the maximum IP address is in one's what you say in one network.
256 actually.
Yeah, so in one network, it's not about 0 to 256. It is 256 into 256, man. 65,536 IP addresses you can assign to a network. Okay, now I will tell you how this came. So if you see here, 192.168 is common for every internet. Even if you purchase any router, the default value for router is 192.168.0.1 or 1.1. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, see. So by default opening my router. This is my router. So in my router network, it is 192.168 and this is common for everyone. Whoever takes connection of Wi-Fi, if they want to go for router, they need to open this IP address. It's not only in my computer. In every computer, if you want to change any network settings, you need to go to this IP address. So after 168, you have 2 digits, right?
Yeah.
So here from 0 to 255 you can change, and here from 0 to 255 you can change. Okay, 168 తర్వాత 2 డిజిట్లు ఉన్నాయి. సో ఈ 0 ప్లేస్ లో ఫ్రమ్ 0 to 255 వరకు పెట్టచ్చు. ఈ తర్వాత 1 ప్లేస్ లో కూడా 0 to 250 వరకు కూడా పెట్టచ్చు. సో 0 ను కూడా కలుపుకుంటే 0 to 255 is nothing but 256 digits. 0 ను కూడా కలుపుకుంటాం కాబట్టి. సో 0 to 255 అంటే ఓవరాల్ గా 256, తర్వాత 0 to 2 ఓవరాల్ దట్ ఈస్ ద వాల్యూ. 256 into 256. You can have 65,536 IP addresses in a network. Okay.
Yeah.
So the same way we have port numbers also from 0 to 65,536.
Yeah.
Now if you want to have, if I open local host, only 80, it will open the default website. Whatever website is there, see, it opened default. So 80 is the default for system and 88 is the default for Jenkins. You see, even if I give 80, it by default it is going to normal local host only.
Normal local host, yeah.
So and 80 is local Jenkins. So if you see, Jenkins.io is a company website. It's not. If someone asks you, tell me the URL for Jenkins, don't say that Jenkins.io.
Yeah, got it.
Okay. Yeah. So turning off all this. Now we have seen how to install. Yeah, good point. Only Srikanth tried to install Jenkins locally. No one tried, and Srikanth came up with a doubt. Yes, to install Jenkins in your local PC, there are some prerequisite softwares. As I told you, Jenkins is purely owned by Oracle organization.
Yeah.
Anything developed by Oracle will run only on Java.
Java.
Okay, anything developed by Oracle will run only on Java. Why? Because Java is their in-house language. Like .NET is for Microsoft, PHP for Google. These are something. Okay, they do development on their own languages. Google always try to develop something in PHP, Microsoft always develop something to develop in .NET, and Oracle always try to develop something in Java. So when you want to install Jenkins on your local system, first you need to install Java, and the Java version should be 8 and above. There are many versions. See, there are many versions, and that should be 8 and above. Here we have Java 8. 8, 9, 10, 11, now it is Java 17. It should be 8 and above. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
See, so Java 8, I told you, right, LTS. This LTS was up to
December 2030.
You can see here, extended support until 2030. So Java 8 already old version, కానీ మార్కెట్లో చాలా మంది వాడుతున్నారు కాబట్టి వాడు దాన్ని LTS గా కన్వర్ట్ చేసి 2030 వరకు పెట్టాడు. Java 9 కు లేదు, బట్ ఇఫ్ యు సీ Java 11 8 2030 కానీ Java 11 మాత్రం 2026
బ్రో Java 11 వరకే కదా బ్రో ఉండేది.
ఇవన్నీ ఉన్నాయి కదా.
ఇక్కడ కాదు, జెంకిన్స్ ఇన్స్టాలేషన్ దగ్గర Java 1.8 నుంచి 11 వరకు పాత్ సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకోమని చూపించింది.
Okay. Yeah, maybe Jenkins is supported 8 to 11 only, but normal Java versions are more in the market. Okay. So either you need to have 8 or 11. I think I have, let me open here anyway. Java. So Java hyphen version. I have 1.8.0.
అదే బ్రో 1.8 to 11.
Okay. Yeah. నా దగ్గర 8 వర్షన్ ఉంది, నేను Jenkins ఇన్స్టాల్ చేశాను. సో మీరు కూడా 8 వర్షన్ ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసుకొని Jenkins ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసుకోవచ్చు, నాట్ ఏ ప్రాబ్లం. So yesterday we have seen how to install Jenkins, how to manage Jenkins, how we can add users, how we can give permissions, how we can install plugins, all the things, right?
Yeah.
Now today we will see a normal simple build job. We know that Jenkins is majorly used for continuous integration.
Yeah.
So we see normal basic build job. So for that I will create a new item. Okay, new item is nothing but about project man. So there are multiple things. So pipelines means running multiple jobs. Okay. Freestyle means normal empty project. Multi-configuration means inside that you may be running PowerShell, Ansible, Terraform, Docker, different things in one job. Then folder creates a container to save your files. GitHub connects GitHub. Then multi-branch pipeline. You can have multi-branch pipeline. I mean, if you have different branches in your source code repository, if you want to build multiple branches within the same pipeline, you can create this. These all are the types. Now I will go with Freestyle Project. Demo 1. Okay. See, why .NET was famous and Java was famous, because the flexibility of customization was very easy in these languages. If you are developing something, you can do many customizations. You can do anything. So that's the reason. If you see, this is completely on .NET and this is completely on Java. The backend code for this entire platform is Java. The backend for this entire platform is .NET.
Yeah.
So you can see the difference. UI, user interface. When you go for user interface, .NET user interface was very good. That's why Windows is famous. Not Linux is famous. Windows is famous because user interface. Okay. Now I have created demo 1. Okay. So it will create me a sample project, but after creating, it will give me all the options. So now I got all the options. So general means the names. So what is the project name and what is the description? When you click on this, it will take you to the page, but they are not next pages. They are below here only. If you keep on scroll, it will change the tab.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you want to select, you can select here. It will just drag the page. Okay. Now you got the name of the project and the description. So source code management. Where is your source code? And this is one of the best thing in Jenkins. In Jenkins, without source code also you can create a pipeline.
Oh.
I like the option in Jenkins, but this option is not there in Azure DevOps. We are lagging there. But in Jenkins, why they are giving this option means because Jenkins is your local, man. Jenkins is your local. So when it is say local, you may have or you may not have the source code.
Yeah.
Generally, when you say for source code, your source code can be in Azure repos, GitHub repos, Bitbucket or anywhere.
Yes.
But here you are running Jenkins locally. So I want to give you option when you are running Jenkins locally, you can run this pipeline without source code also. Why? Because you want to check something locally only. Why should you have source code? Just run a pipeline, sample pipeline without having the source code.
Okay.
Okay. So this is source code management done. Then build triggers. When you want to trigger builds remotely, build after another project, build periodically, GitHub hook trigger, poll ACM, then build environment. What do you want to build? Delete workspace, use secret, add something, all the things. Then the actual build. So these are the build steps. What you want to run, these are the build steps. Okay. Then post to build actions. After build, what you want to do. So if you want to send email notification, if you want to build other projects, if you want to archive the artifacts, You want to delete workspace. These all things you can do. Now what I will do, I will create this is sample demo. Nothing to do with this, nothing, no nothing. I will trigger this build normally. These are nothing but triggers, man.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is environment where you want to build. Okay, then build state. Now what I want to do, I want to execute shell script. Okay, I want to execute shell script. So here I can use the shell script. Echo hello world. Then another line. Echo was run in Jenkins. Okay, done. So nothing to do. Save. So now you see the demo one project was created and the build history. Here is the build history. There are no builds. Okay, there are no builds. Now what I will do? I will build it now. Build now. Okay, I will build now. Okay, it is pending. See, now it is running. Now it is running. It is failed. Red color means failed. Let us see the output. I selected the build. See here. I selected the build and I came into the build configuration. Here the logs will be in console output. Here the logs will be in console output. I click on console output. What it is saying? Execute shell marked build as failure. The system cannot find the file specified. Okay, cannot run program shell. Okay, shell is for Linux systems. I need to change the configuration. Here I can go for configure. I am in the project, right? If I go for configure, configure means changing. Configure. Guys, మిగతా వాళ్ళకి అర్థమవుతుందా? సింక్ అవుతున్నారా? Azure DevOps దీనికి చాలా తేడా ఉంటుంది. ఓకేనా? ఎక్కడన్నా అర్థం కావట్లేదు నువ్వు ఏం చేసావంటే నన్ను ఆపి అడగండి. Now what I will do, I will remove this. Now I will try to execute bash script. See, Windows batch command. Shell is for Linux. Now I want to run Windows batch command. I can give the same command. Echo hello world. This was run from Jenkins at apply, save. Okay, the first run got failed. Now I changed the settings. Here you see all the links. Last build 1 minute 55 seconds ago, last failed build, last unsuccessful, last complete. These are all the links. Now if I run this build now, so this is running now. This is, yeah. If you see the color change, red means failed, blue means success. Now if you want to see the output, you can have the options here itself, or else you can click on open. If you click on, it will open the pipeline. If you don't want to open into pipeline, directly go to console output, drop down, console output. See here it is printed. Hello world, this was run from Jenkins at, it is fetching me the time. If you remember, I have given the command as time only, but time here only. It fetched the time.
Yeah.
So this is success. Blue color means success, red color means failure. Now what you want to do, okay, this was success, this was failed, you can delete it. Delete build one. Like how we have delete option for the builds, you can delete here also the builds. Okay. This is how you create pipelines. Now what I want to do, coming to, let me have this. Just a second. I don't want to go into this project. I will go to another project. Project demo. demo. So now what I want to do is, my organization want to have the continuous integration. Okay, continuous integration. Okay, before jumping onto that, I will show you another thing. What if my source code was in GitHub? What if my source code? Yes. So I have a source code repository in GitHub called Jenkins Apple, and inside that I have a batch file. This batch file shows this file was edited in GitHub at the date and time. Okay, I am not giving the date and time. And this is the repository. What if my source code was in GitHub? Now, if I want to configure this as GitHub, if you remember, here I have selected the source code as none. Now I am selecting the source code as Git. I am selecting source code as Git. Now it is asking me the repository URL. So here you will get the URL. This is the URL, right?
Yeah.
Copy this URL and give it here. Okay, it took the repository. As this is public repository, okay, as this is public repository, I don't want to give any credentials. If this is private repository, obviously I need to add credentials. Getting right? As this is public repository, I don't want to give any credentials. If this is private repository, you need to pass on credentials.
Yeah, understood.
And here you want to specify the branches. What is the branch name? It is main here. Only main here. Now what I will do, I will change this name. Main. It's not master, man. It's main. Okay, now done. So I have given the URL. I have created the branch. Now I don't want to specify these commands. Okay, why? Because I already have this command in a file name. Now what I need to do, I just need to give the file name where I have these commands. Here the file name is windowsbatch.bat. Now what I will do, I will remove all this. I will just give the file name. That's enough. So where is your command? Give the file name windowsbatch.bat. You just keep on looking this, whatever there in this. Okay, whatever there in this. This file was edited on GitHub. This name this time. You will see the output here. Okay. Okay. Save. Done. Now build now. I am going for building this latest change. Now before that, let me tell you, if I go to inside the workspace, this workspace is empty, right? But now what happens, this is workspace is empty because there is no source code. But now whatever files there in this repository, those files will come into this workspace. This is nothing but checking out your files to your local machine, local agent. If you remember, when you want to build your source code needs to be downloaded to the agent machine. Right?
Yeah.
So now if I build now, see, this is building, it is running now. Yeah, it is succeeded, blue color.
Yes.
Now this workspace is empty. Let me go back. And now go to workspace. See what is here.
It downloaded all the Git repository.
See whatever files there.
In the GitHub repository.
Here we have readme, local, recommend, Windows.
Yeah.
So local, readme, recommend, Windows. It downloaded all the repository files. And if you go to output, console output, see what it printed here. This file was edited in GitHub at date, time.
Previous date and current time.
Right. This is how you build your source code. If your source code is in out of not in local and that is in GitHub, you can do, you can build that as well. So Jenkins will support both. You may have source code or you may not have source code. You can do both the things.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if you see in our repository, there are 2 batch files, man. So that's the reason I specified the file name explicitly.
Okay.
So there are 2 batch files. So that's the reason I specified the file name explicitly. Here, if you see, this was extracted from GitHub. Here it was only time no and hello world, but in the other file there is no hello world. Directly the print command only.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is how you create a job in Jenkins and you run the job. Now what I will do is, okay, here I will create a release. Okay, here I will create a release, new pipeline. Okay, new pipeline. And now let me take this as an empty job only. And here in artifact, I want to select the artifact from Jenkins. Okay, when I want to select from Jenkins, it will ask me a service connection. So where is your Jenkins? Where is your Jenkins and what is the Jenkins job name? Where is your Jenkins and what is the Jenkins job name? So I don't have any service connection now. I want to add a service connection. For that, go to manage. You can go to manage here or just to discard these settings and go to project settings. Inside project settings, under pipelines, you will have a section called service connection. Under pipelines, you will have a section called service connections. Now, if you see here, only Azure is connected. This is nothing but Azure. Azure is connected. Now, if you want to have a new service connection, you need to click on this service connection and see. You can connect your Azure DevOps with all these, man. You can connect your Azure DevOps with all these external services. These all are nothing but external services. They are not inside Azure DevOps. Yeah. They are outside Azure DevOps. Now what you want to connect? You want to connect Jenkins. See, Jenkins is here. So Jenkins next. So what is the server URL?
192 we have given.
Right. So if I open here, this is the one.
That is the one, yeah.
So I will take this URL. Okay, I will take this URL. Okay. Username. Obviously, we have username and password, right?
Yeah.
When you want to connect, Rajeshyam and the password name. Just to verify. Failed. Why?
There was address which is special purpose range that is not allowed in service endpoints. Special
Right.
Purpose range.
Right. So 192.168. These two are for special purpose range. So when you want to see now, tell me this URL can be opened from anywhere in the world, right?
Yes.
What that means?
That is public.
Right. So this is public, but
Public.
the URL whatever you are giving here
is not public, it's private network.
Right. So that's the reason
that
it won't accept the URL.
Yes, yes. Understood.
Okay. And the funny thing is, just a second. And the funny thing is, if without verify you can
connect.
Okay, without verify you can connect. So when you are connecting with Jenkins, you need to give a service connection name. So my Jenkins server, you can give the same name. Here you have both options, verify and save. Without verify also save.
Okay.
So if you go for without verification, it will be saved, man. See, it's saved.
Okay.
But when you try to connect, it will throw error.
Throw an error. even though you didn't verify it, when it is actually happening, it will definitely verify.
Correct.
Without any verification, portal will not do anything without any authentication.
So, why it is failed? Because your Azure DevOps is in public domain.
Public domain.
And your Jenkins server is in private domain. So it will be not able to connect to private domain.
Yeah.
So in such cases, what you need to do, you should be installing your Jenkins on a public faced server.
Yeah.
Okay. Now what I need to do, I need to create a server where it is public. But what happens is, I can configure this, but it will fail. So how can you trigger? If you want to show me, obviously I need to make it tomorrow only, but today I will show you how can you make it. So once the build is happened, after the build you want to trigger a release in Azure DevOps, right?
Yeah.
In such case, you need to add a post build action.
Yes.
In such case, you need to add post build action. The post build action will be VSTS continuous deployment. Jenkins is old, they are not into Azure DevOps, they are still in VSTS only. Okay?
Yeah.
So Jenkins guys are not converted to Azure DevOps, they are still in VSTS only. So that is called VSTS continuous deployment. Once you select the VSTS continuous deployment, it will ask you the URL, project name, release name, account, password.
Okay.
So here the URL will be this one. Okay. The URL will be this one. And what is the project name? It's project demo. Project underscore demo. And what is the release name? I think I have not created any releases here.
We didn't create it.
Yeah. For suppose if you have first release, and obviously I have my username. For suppose let me simply randomly I'm giving you rajeshoutlook.com and password is something. Now you can go for save. It's saved, man. It won't trigger any error. Why? Because while verifying only it will trigger error.
It will trigger error. Yes.
Now if you go for build now, it will obviously trigger. The build job will be completed, but the deployment will not happen.
Yeah, post build job will fail actually.
Right. See, it is showing the overall status has failed, but if I go to console output, you can see it's printed.
Yeah.
So the build job is completed, but after build step failed with exception, so build step VSTS service deployment marked build as failure.
Yeah.
So this is the build next step, right? VSTS continuous deployment marked build as failure. So now it is obviously failure. Okay. I think Jenkins is going for tomorrow also. Tomorrow I will show you how can I trigger a CI job and CD job. What I will do tomorrow, I will create a Jenkins on public domain and I will show you.
Okay.
Okay. And I want everyone, remaining people. I think Srikanth already installed Jenkins. I want remaining Sai, Pawan, and Srikanth from Bangalore also. I want you people.
I have installed Jenkins. I did.
Oh, okay, good. Good. So I want everyone should be installed Jenkins tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow I will show you. We will cover tomorrow only 2 topics. Today we already seen what is normal Jenkins job without source code and a Jenkins job with source code, and whereas the source code is in Bitbucket. I'm sorry, GitHub.
Yeah.
Okay. Then coming back to tomorrow, I will show you. We will run a continuous integration job in Jenkins. After the job, it will automatically trigger the release deployment in Azure DevOps. Okay. Then after that, I will try to give you. There is another concept called. Give me idea, guys. Have you covered custom agents in Azure DevOps? No, right?
Custom agents.
Yeah. How to create custom agent pools?
No, bro.
Yeah, I think we missed that. We will cover tomorrow these both.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is going delayed. Yep. Anything else?